We're here. Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. This is going to be a reading on MAGA and their latest antics involving JD Vance and in vitro fertilization. Boy, I can speak today. Anyways, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. I hope you find it insightful, and we'll take it from there. So what's this story? I was looking something up on Google, and a picture came up of some people wearing Trump MAGA gear, and they're holding up a cup with a blue lid and a picture of JD Vance on it. And looking more closely, now, first off, editorial timeout here. I was watching a TikTok with this guy Hawk, and Hawk made a comment that I've recognized as well. Sometimes when you hear a story, it's okay to let time elapse and more facts come out. That, not everybody needs a hot take on something, because maybe something that looks one way when the story comes out looks a different way when more facts come out. So you don't look foolish a couple days later when more facts come out. So what I'm about to talk about is fairly recent, and these are pictures, and they could be AI generated. However, if they are not AI generated, and this is what's happening, I'm going to share it with you. We're going to read on it. Back to the story. I've got one up here. It shows like this one woman with a white MAGA shirt, another guy with a red Trump 2024 shirt, with his fight, fight, fight logo on it. And they're both holding up cups to the camera. And the cup says JD Vance sperm donation or something like that. Let me blow it up here. JD Vance family kit. There's a word in the first part that I can't read on it. So what is this all about? Well, Tim Walz came up with the moniker that MAGA are weird. And Donald Trump is weird and JD Vance is weird. They're just weird. And it has really sent Trump, Vance, and the MAGA movement on their heels. For some strange reason, calling them weird is like an Achilles heel. It's the water on the witch, as it were. And they're melting, and they don't know what to do about it. So they want to go on the attack. And I guess where they're going after the attack is on Walz. And they want to attack Walz because he and his wife had difficulty getting pregnant. So they turned to in vitro fertilization. So their whole angle here is that Tim Walz is less of a man because he couldn't get his wife pregnant the normal way or the natural way. So he had to go with in vitro fertilization. That appears to be what the flex is. So they're walking around, or in the case of the woman, it looks like she's rolling around in a scooter with these cups, these JD Vance family kits. To which some of the comments, like, I'm trying to understand. Are they walking around with JD Vance's jizz in a cup and think that's a flex? Like, do they not understand that this makes them look even more weird than before? Ding, 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 ding. So, the weirdos are getting more weird. Now, again, just as an aside, these could be AI-generated photos. They may not be real, and this is all just outrage baiting of the liberals, as it were. So take it with a grain of salt. We can check on these things over the next few days and see more and more if it gets debunked as AI or fake or something like that, or if it's real. All right? But if it is real, let's look at the energy of MAGA and how they're reeling since Tim Walz started calling them weird, got nominated as the VP, and they've had no answer for this. Okay? Entertainment purposes only. JD Vance Instant Family Sperm Cups. I guess we know what's going in people's Christmas stockings this year is white elephant gifts. I guess these are for the kids that are bad or good, depending on what color baseball cap you wear. Again, entertainment purposes only. Foundation of the reading is the Emperor. Okay, well, I'm going to just throw the cross, Queen of Wands, oh jeez, and the Moon card. Okay. Whether the Emperor is JD Vance or Tim Walz, I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to go with, let's go with JD Vance on this one, just because. You know, he's wanting to present himself as a strong alpha, if you will, and I'll put that in the most giant of air quotes, male. You know, this is the young guy this isn't a young guy. This is the guy who's going to carry the torch. That's why this could also be Tim Walz, because Tim Walz is coming across as regal. No, you know, he's a governor. He's a leader. He's a person in control. The reason why I have Tim Walz in here is because now you've got the cat ladies, the miserable cat ladies, and J.D. Walz's derision on them. And we've got the Moon card, the lunacy, the confusion that's underneath here. Hey, we can make this Tim Walz. You got Tim Walz. You've got the support that Tim Walz and Kamala Harris have from the cat ladies, and the lunacy that's underneath it. I was talking with my brother about this yesterday. I was watching Usha Vance talk on one of the Fox shows. I watched like 2 minutes or 3 minutes out of a longer clip. And she was saying that J.D. Vance's comment about, you know, miserable, childless cat ladies. It's really, people shouldn't focus on the childless cat ladies as, focus on his bigger message, which was how difficult it is to raise a family in the United States. Now, Usha Vance is very well spoken. She's very intelligent. And that was a great message. Her husband allegedly is very intelligent and very well spoken. So explain to me the disconnect, why he couldn't have just said, you know, it's difficult having a family. It's difficult raising kids in this current country, and we should do things to make it easier. Who the hell's going to vote against him for that? Who's going to boo him for that? Nobody's going to boo him for that. No, but that's not what he said, was it? What he said was, you know, the problem with this country are these miserable, childless cat ladies that are running it, implying, you know, Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, amongst others, are the problem with this country. That's a personal attack. And Usha Vance can try and gaslight us as much as she wants to, but she can just go turn around and pound sand. I don't need to be gaslit by anybody else, and I'm sure as hell sick and tired of people explaining to me what Trump really meant, what J.D. Vance really meant. You know what? No. They said it. That's what they said. That's what they meant. Stop making excuses for him. Come back down. I'm not a fan of Usha Vance at this point. She can go pound sand making excuses for her lame-ass husband. In the past, trying to get new messaging, new action out there. And I think this is, you know, J.D. Vance, his childless cat ladies, and Tim Walz coming in saying that MAGA's just weird. They don't have an answer for this. And they've been looking for an answer. So, current situation, if you can't find a positive way out of it, take the negative way out. So now instead of, you know, I don't know, debating policy, we're going to attack J.D. Vance. We're going to attack Tim Walz by saying, you know, he's not man enough to have children all on his own. He had to fake out the system to do this. It's funny how the pro-lifers all of a sudden don't want people to use IVF to propagate life. Or if they do use IVF, if somehow those zygotes die, then that's murder. You know, they can't make up their mind. And the reason why they can't make up their mind is they get conflicting, this is MAGA, mind you, they get conflicting stories, and since they can't think and refuse to think for themselves, they just parrot whatever they hear, and when you point out the contradiction, their brains glitch. Overarching energy is Seven of Wands. So this is just the latest in an attack. Something that was put together quickly. The thing is, it's very visual. It's very, not controversial, but antagonizing. And that's all they're looking for. Is they're looking just to antagonize. Lesson to be learned is the Strength card. This is weak. This is pure weak sauce going after Tim Walz like that. It doesn't show strength at all. Because, again, you're not talking policy. You're not talking morals or ethics. You're making fun and ridiculing somebody for using science to help them start a family. Something that you say plays to your strengths. Yet, when in practice comes in, what you really mean is, as long as you think and act just like I do. Outcome is going to be the Three of Wands. It's 3 months to the election. It's coming. They don't have an answer. Is this going to be the answer? No, it's not going to be the answer. This is schoolyard crap. Now with Tim Walz, when I've read on him in the past, I keep getting like the Three of Swords, like the heartbreak and betrayal. I'm wondering if this is what I've been seeing. It's the personal attacks, and it's going to be the attacks on his wife, the attacks on his kids. This if Tim Walz had to use IVF, who cares? How's that anybody's business but him and his families? But, I guess the Trump supporters, he called us names first. No, he just called it like it was. And y'all don't know how to handle it. So you turn your anger towards him. What's interesting, though, is that by doing that, you're not attacking Kamala Harris. You're attacking Tim Walz. And the voting public pretty much doesn't care. He's the VP. He's not the president. He's the VP. We like our VP pick, and we don't like it when you're ridiculing him for something like that. But you're not pointing out any reason for us not to vote for Kamala Harris. So, I am just curious. A little for Carter. How does MAGA think this is going to land? And I'll do a for Carter on him. How Tim Walz thinks this is going to land. How does MAGA think it's going to land? Oh, yeah, they're working. They got him on the rope. They think they got him on the ropes. All this is just the most ridiculous money grab by somebody who's selling these things at MAGA events. I can't imagine they're big sellers. Death card, Ace of Wands. Okay, there we go. Ten of Swords. Yeah, it's just another way to take their money. It's just sort of like they were insulted, so somebody came up with this brainchild of this, and people will buy it. Why? Because Tim Walz said something, gossiped about them, said something mean, said they were weird. So, of course, they have to be outraged and take up the stick and beat him down with their stick. They think it's going to bring him and this campaign to a close. But honestly, I just think him calling him weird is just the thing that brings MAGA down. Because the more pictures like this come out, the more people are going to want to distance themselves from it. There's going to start, what I think is going to happen here with that Death card and the Ten of Swords is that there are some MAGA supporters who are going to look at the MAGA extremists and want to distance themselves from those people. So, if you're at a MAGA show and some guy's dressed up as Uncle Sam with his red, white, and blue top hat and stuff like that, yeah, you might get your picture taken with them, or maybe you'll just stay 15, 20 feet away, maybe give him a thumbs up or something like that, but you don't want your picture taken with him now. Because, do I really want to be next to cosplay Uncle Sam? If you're rolling around with these JD Vance family cup kits in your hand, some folks might it's like, Oh yeah, that's great. What the hell's wrong with these people? You know, they're going to start, or the QAnon shaman in full regalia with his Royal Society of Water Buffaloes hat on. You know, they might think, oh, look at that, check that guy out. Start crowd watching, but they don't want to be around him. They're not going to want to be around the lady with the gold diaper on the outside of her clothes. You know, it's just going to be a bridge too far. And I think this weird stuff is actually causing a separation within the MAGA movement. No, the weird extremists versus just the good old Trump supporters. just your regular rednecks. Tim Walz. How's Tim Walz looking at all this? Jizz cups and things along those lines. Is this even on his radar, or is this what my Three of Swords moment was all about? Five of Coins. It's a disappointment being left out in the cold. King of Wands. Eight of Wands. Nine of Cups. Okay. It's not, believe it or not, it's not impacting him. He's looking at these people as, look at these poor slobs. How pathetic are they? They are hurting so bad that they have to personally attack me with JD Vance instant family kits. You know, these guys, you know, economically are suffering, their values are suffering here. And they're putting it out there for everybody to see. And you know, with this Queen of Swords underneath it, it's like, I told you they were weird. Here they are. And they're putting it out there for everybody to see. King of Wands, Nine of Cups. Is this the disappointment that I was saying? No, it's not. At least this isolated incident isn't. It gives him more resolve that I was right. And I can continue showing you that I was right. He's feeling good about his position. Again, if they're attacking Tim Walz, they are not going after Kamala Harris. And I think Tim Walz understands that he got under their skin. He called it like he saw it. It resonated, and they're reacting like snails on a salt mine. You know, they're fizzing, withdrawing into their shells and fizzing and trying to come up with something, and it's just not working. So expect more MAGA craziness in the future. It's just who they are. They're untethered from reality. And that part of the problem is that they've been getting their news from sources that aren't being truthful. They're presenting fake information. And then it's amplified, that this type of propaganda is amplified by Trump's messaging, which is, poor you, you've been a victim, and it's not that you have to overcome from within. It's all the problems came from outside. So like that Three of Wands. So I'm going to fix the outside problem so that you don't have to own it. You can just blame somebody else for it. Yeah, because that's how it works in this world. Oh well, we'll see. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.